Okay, today I'm going to do a demonstrative video and show you how you go about the process of throwing a piece on the wheel. First, we start with our centered cylinder. Bring it up to a cone and down. The stiffer the clay, the more we'll do this until we feel our elasticity is where we want it. Bringing it down into that cylinder-like shape. Next, we make our center hole. I do it like this, okay? A lot of beginners do it like this. The only reason I stopped is I get those little splits in my skin. So I do it like this. Make the center hole. Take it till you think you've got it. And then most of the time you're working over in here in your 3 to 6 time frame here. I like to pull it open over here, but watch you don't curl your fingers. You leave your fingers out. Okay, speed it up a bit. Pull it open. And with time you'll get to feel whether your bottom is too thick or too thin, or okay. Now I'm making sure my walls are even. Okay. Next, I'm really going to lift and thin. Okay? So I'm in on the inside. I use my hands together. Everybody has their own comfort zone. Elbows tucked in. Okay? And so I'm pinching the clay with the outside hand slightly lower than the inside hand. So as I'm thinning, I'm pulling up. Okay? Making sure that your top doesn't get too thin. Okay? And we're always pulling in. If your rim starts to go out, it's always going to end up back out there. And a lot of people want to make tall, straight mugs, in which case you're always pulling in. Okay? Now we're going to do a bowl today just because the clay wants to go out, and it's a larger amount of clay than I would normally work with this type of porcelain. So we go out. Okay, now I know I'm kind of losing it a little bit here, so I'm just going to give a little press there. And when you think you've got it, just because this is a practice run, I'm not keeping this one. My sponge isn't right here, but I would normally sponge this out. Instead, I'll use the rib and I'll just go over it and clean it up. And then, now what you should always do in the beginning, wire it off. Just cut it in half and have a look at your piece and see where you're thickest. I know I left my bottom a little bit thick. I did that on purpose because it almost always thins through the process. So as we lift up our piece, that we have cut in half here, we see that in fact we actually did pretty good, because what we're going to do is we're going to cut here, we're going to trim that out, and we're going to trim this off just a little bit. Okay, so in fact that is almost a perfect throw. Okay, I knew that I had a little bit of a spot there, so I probably would have thrown it away anyways, but if I hadn't, a little trim up and that would be a perfect bowl. Till next time.